Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Lady Beverly and Jane, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Jim, for your kind and generous introduction. It is a unique and humbling invitation to give the 2013 Reeves Lecture. I was privileged to know Sir Faull for over 15 years. He was a very generous mentor, a close colleague and friend, and always provided sound wisdom and guidance during many challenging times. Sir Faull was a visionary and great leader, an extraordinary person in every respect. Like so many great leaders, he was a man whose mission in life was simple, just to help people. In the Mandela fashion, he led in a quiet and compelling way. He wanted no fuss, just got on with the challenge at hand to make a difference for Aotearoa New Zealand. He was a man for all people and all seasons. I'm a humble Taranaki farm boy at heart. Grew up in a family of 5 boys. One of my brothers is here tonight, in a tiny North Taranaki farming community called Tickering. That name probably hasn't been mentioned very often in this cathedral. My mum and dad, you see, owned the general store. They never completed secondary schooling and we didn't have much money, but they gave us the vital ingredients of life. They taught us to be true to yourself, be honest, be humble, do your very best, strive for excellence, but most importantly, show dignity and love to all. My mother was the eternal optimist. She gave us a boundless enthusiasm and passion for life. Our cup was always half full. Above all else, they taught us to serve the community and the people. So the bottom line of my lecture tonight is that people matter, and that science is about people. Imagine what tomorrow's world would be like if scientists in the university worked collaboratively with doctors in the hospitals and people affected by brain disease in the community. We could move mountains. So tonight, I'm going to take you on a voyage of discovery, a magical journey to explore the human brain. Tell you a story of the excitement of science in the human brain, the excitement of discovery in science. How finding things out in an unexpected, serendipitous way is at the very core of science discovery. How discovery in science involves collaboration, people working together. How discovery which may help is the ultimate excitement. Above all, I want to tell you about the challenges of the human brain. And I'm going to surprise you. Well, no, you're not. But I want to show you a human brain. This is a real human brain, especially bequeathed by a family for teaching and research. It has been preserved and plastinated in resin to last forever, to push back the frontiers of brain science. I first saw the human brain as a young third-year medical student. That's when I fell in love with the brain. See, it has a myriad of folds, these beautiful folds on the outside, and it is tantalizingly beautiful to me in every respect. Whether you look at it at 40,000 feet, whether you look at it with a microscope, whether you look at it with the confocal microscope, at every level, it has mystery and intrigue, and it is critical. It is the most marvelous and complex organ in the human body. It is responsible, you see, for who we are and what we are. It determines our potential in life. It's the most vital, the most valuable, the most critical asset we will ever possess. And we all got it free. That's incredible. Compared with animal brains, the human brain is so incredibly complex. For example, you see the rat brain is what we call a basic prototype mammalian brain. It is small, has a smooth outer forebrain. It's brilliant for a rat. But they don't make computers or build libraries. I call the rat brain the Ford Model T. The human brain, by contrast, you see, is the Rolls Royce. It has this massively enlarged, highly developed forebrain. It's divided into two halves. A right hemisphere controlling the left side of the body. A left hemisphere controlling the right side of the body. Each hemisphere consists of a series of beautiful folds we call gyri. Marvellously, each fold has quite different and unique functions. The fold in the middle controls the movement of muscles on the opposite side of the body. Just behind the movement area is the sensory area, where you consciously feel touch and pressure on the skin, the passionate kiss on your lips, the tender touch on your hand, the brick dropped on your foot. You see, you consciously feel with your brain, not your skin. Vision is located in the folds at the back of your brain. That's where you see the pictures. They're upside down. The right half of the picture is on the left side of the brain. The left half of the picture is on the right side of the brain. And the brain seamlessly turns the images right side up and combines the two separate images together in a precise, non-overlapping way to give you 3D vision and technicolor. Isn't that magic? All your conscious functions are appreciated in specific parts of your brain. Other complex functions like memory, imagination, foresight, emotion, behaviour, personality, intelligence, hearing, are located in other widespread parts of the hemispheres in such complex ways that scientifically we are still trying to unravel. All of these areas of the brain work together, you see, in the most marvellous way. And they give you your conscious existence. When we wake up each day, we take for granted we are the same person we were when we went to sleep. Now when these different areas get affected by a stroke, you lose these functions. For example, if a blood vessel supplying your movement area on the right side of the brain gets blocked, you're paralysed on the left-hand side. If a tumour involves the front of your brain, this results in behaviour and personality changes. Now, inside your brain, all of these functions are provided by the most magic cells, brain cells. Brain cells which we call neurons. There are 100 billion neurons in the brain. It's more than the number of stars in the Milky Way. The neurons show great diversity in shape, size, chemicals, functional characteristics, just like the vehicles on the road, where we have trucks, sports cars, graders, tractors, bulldozers, all modified to do different things. So with the brain, you see, we have cells which are different shapes, sizes, chemicals, for quite different functions. The movement area contains these beautiful big triangular cells. If I had a microscope, I could show them. These big triangular cells have massive branches. They're called pyramidal cells. They project down to the spinal cord on the opposite side and then out to the muscles. In the vision area at the back, this consists of small, round, dandelion-like cells. They look like sunbursts, so delicate and beautiful and small. But you see, they turn light rays in the retina into pictures in your brain. The memory area in your temporal part contains specialised large, small, rhomboid, pyramidal, mixed types of cells, all specialised to talk to one another in the most incredible way. They act as a storehouse of memory and knowledge. Amazing stuff. You see, brain cells are beautiful in their diversity and their complexity. I told Diane and my wife that's what we should have on our wallpaper at home. We don't have that yet. I'm not the boss at home. Each neuron gets inputs, you see, from at least 10,000 brain cells. Imagine that. And some parts of your brain are vacuum in the cerebellum. Each cell gets up to 120,000 inputs. All of these brain cells work together, you see, in the most complex way, to give us a unique, individual conscious experience that's incredible. We're all different and are experts in our own special worlds. No two people are exactly the same. Isn't that incredible? The human brain is both scientifically and artistically beautiful. The limitation is that we try to understand the complexity of the human brain with our own human brain. We actually need a super brain to understand our brain, but that will never stop us pursuing the challenge. The great tragedy is that the human brain is affected by diseases. Diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. This is a tragic disease which affects memory, personality, behaviour, and results in a deterioration of the mind. Dementia literally means without mind. There is progressive loss of brain cells, of brain cell death for those reasons which control these critical functions. Ultimately, there is extensive cell death. Instead of the brain weighing 1,500 grams, when a person with Alzheimer's dies, it's reduced by at least 1/3 to 900 grams. 1/3 of the brain is lost. Brain cells die in their millions. And at death, under the microscope, you see these cells are clogged up with what we call toxic proteins called plaques and tangles. Many scientists therefore conclude that it is these toxic proteins that cause brain cell death. But we know that is too simple an explanation. It is like going to the cemetery and saying everyone died because of the concrete covering their graves. Alzheimer's is more complex than that. We need to find out why the very first brain cell dies, and if we are going to solve the disease, we've got to start right at that point. Just to give you a hint of the challenge of Alzheimer's disease, today in New Zealand there are 45,000 people affected by this tragic disease. Tomorrow, with the ageing population, the numbers will increase dramatically, double by 2030, and more than triple by 2050 to over 140,000 people. The latest World Alzheimer's report calculated that the world costs of dementia exceed 1% of the global GDP. If dementia were a country, would be the world's 18th largest economy, equivalent to the economy of Switzerland or the economy of the Netherlands. What a huge challenge we have for the future. There is hope, and it would be fantastic to discover a cure. That is our dream. Realistically, that is a long way off. But if we could delay the onset of the disease by just 5 years, we would actually cut the prevalence of Alzheimer's in New Zealand by 50%. That would be a huge step forward, and we are working on that. 1 in 5 New Zealanders, as you heard previously, will be affected by brain disease in their lifetime. Diseases like stroke, Parkinson's, Huntington's, motor neurone disease, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, the list goes on. Neurological disorders are among the top 5 most common causes of death and long-term disability. The challenge is huge, and that is the challenge of the human brain. My passion as a third-year medical student was to undertake research on the brain. I didn't know where this was going to lead me. Now, you can't do experiments on humans, so you must study animal brains like rats. As a third-year medical student at Otago University, I undertook a year's research on the rat brain, studying a part right inside called the basal ganglia. This is the region deep inside the brain which is affected by Huntington's disease and Parkinson's disease, and it controls and has a vital role in movement. That year was one of the most exciting years of my life with this young Taranaki boy. Finding a new pathway which is totally unexpected, published my first research paper, and presented my findings at an international conference. Well, it doesn't get much better than that. That year was incredible. I knew that I wanted to specialise in the brain. So I completed medicine and then tried neurosurgery. That was fascinating and so rewarding. But I suddenly realised how little we knew about brain function. So I went back to university and started a career in brain research. A PhD at Auckland University in the cerebellum and basal ganglia and the rat brain. More unexpected pathways, exciting stuff. I was really hooked. 3 years postdoctoral research studies in the United States. Studied with 2 world experts on the basal ganglia. First, at the NASA Ames Research Center in San Francisco, not far from where the American Cup's currently being sailed. There, they were researching problems involved with the basal ganglia and space travel. Absolutely fascinating research. I had to get a CIA clearance to work there. That's how cutting edge the research was. Then secondly, I went and studied at MIT and Harvard and Boston. Learned the latest brain research techniques for studying pathways in the rat brain at the hands of the masters. What an incredible opportunity for this Taranaki boy. I then returned to Auckland University in 1978, set up my very own rat brain research laboratory, just me. More exciting studies on the basal ganglia in the rat. Then, in 1980, something happened which changed my life forever. Professor Arthur Faull, the professor of genetics, came and talked to me about this disease called Huntington's disease. You see, he was a New Zealand expert on Huntington's and looked after all the 400 families in New Zealand affected by this tragic disease. He told me how Huntington's disease was caused by a dominant gene that affected the basal ganglia. The gene was unknown. There was no definitive gene test available at that time. The tragedy is that each child of an affected parent had a 50% chance of getting the gene. He told me that it was difficult to diagnose because of the complexity and the variation in the symptoms. So he just asked me if I would help the families by examining the brain of their loved one after death. to determine if they had the disease by looking at the basal ganglia. He told me how critical this was for the families. So every few months, Professor Faull arrived with the most precious gift, the brain from the family for us to study. In most cases, our studies unfortunately confirmed the diagnosis, but some cases we found didn't have Huntington's disease. That was fantastic news for the families, like giving them millions of dollars. But what was really special, all of the families made the most generous gesture you could ever imagine. They said, keep the brain around mum or dad, you do research, find out why the cells die, and give hope to our children. Over the next few years, our research on Huntington's disease on these brains showed unexpected findings, which was so different from the textbooks. The patterns of the cells dying varied markedly from one brain to the other. Why was this? We weren't perplexed. How can we solve this? So we talked to the families to find out more details on the clinical history of the disease. What was the track record of this person's life? We involved expert clinical psychologists to help us in the research and to talk to the families. The families were so enthusiastic that they were actively involved in our research. Our team grew. We had family psychologists and the research team on board. The outcome of this combined research was unexpectedly exciting. We showed that the variation in the pathology of the brain, which we saw in the lab, correlated with the variation in the pattern of symptoms which the families saw in their mum and dad. Some patients had mainly movement problems, some patients had mainly mood and personality problems, some patients had different mixtures of both. These findings were novel and so important. They helped us unravel the complexity of Huntington's disease. But they also showed us how the basal ganglia functions in the normal brain. You see, you can't do experiments on the human brain, but if you study the brains of people after death with the disease, they are in the nicest possible way the most perfect experiment, because you see what cells die, and you look and relate that to the person's life and how the brain pathology affected them. So all of this exciting science was because families had given us the greatest gift, the brain of their loved one after death. I realised we had established a special and unique partnership with families. And all of these studies emphasised that in order to understand the human brain, you must look at the human brain. It's pretty simple stuff, isn't it? But you must also use animal brains to fill in where you can't actually do experiments on the human brain. So the two go together. The human brain, known as the Rolls Royce, is the ultimate model. Over the years, with growing family and community support, we extended our brain studies to include Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, epilepsy, motor neuron disease, schizophrenia, and others. In the early 1990s, we realised we had unconsciously established something truly special at the University of Auckland, a human brain bank in partnership with the community. We're so grateful that the Human Brain Bank has been generously supported by the Neurological Foundation since 1993. It's over the last 20 years. That has been a critical factor in this exciting journey. And people like Sir Graham Douglas have further contributed through the Neurological Foundation and funded vital senior research fellows which form part of our expanding brain bank. We have really established what I call a boutique human brain bank in the Kiwi style. was quite different to any of the overseas brain banks. It's a partnership between families, doctors and our research groups. Families are so committed. It was their drive and interest in research which was critical to establishing the brain bank. If I'd set out to have a dream on to establish a human brain bank, I would not have known where to start. The ethical challenges would have been bewildering. But we had the best ethical consent you could ever have. The family asking and compelling you to study their mum and dad's brain. You see, they provide vital ongoing information on the disease symptoms. The families are the experts because they live with the disease 24 hours a day. One of our families said they are so proud to be part of our research. It seems like Dad lives forever. Our collaboration with doctors, neurologists and neurosurgeons is essential. They provide the clinical details of the cases we're studying. They give us ideas for new research opportunities, vital opportunities to undertake research on patients with brain disease. Most importantly are our collaborations with other brain research groups in the University of Auckland, throughout New Zealand and overseas. These research groups extend the boundaries of our studies and include pharmacologists, psychologists, pathologists, geneticists, physiologists, psychiatrists, and this goes on and on, all experts you see in all different modes. Tissue overseas to the leading research groups in the world. When we asked the families, would they be happy with this, the families were so enthusiastic. One family said, Mum always wanted to travel. And death, she is not only having to travel, she can have a life, but she's also contributing to international research and to the future health of our family and to all people. That is very special to us and to the fulfillment of her dream. These multidisciplinary research studies on the brain have enabled us to push back the frontiers of brain research. By working with our leading pharmacologists, we've pushed back the boundaries and they have developed techniques for keeping human brain cells, separating them in culture dishes in the lab and looking and studying them while they're still actually living for the 24 to 48 hours or so. These cells, you see, you can test new drugs and therapies for Alzheimer's, Huntington's, Parkinson's, epilepsy, and other brain diseases. And this is set up on the call-out biobank, funded by an Auckland engineering company, the E. Green Trust. Incredible. Like working with our leading geneticists and putting the human gene for Huntington's disease into sheep. A collaborative project with top scientists in South Australia, people from Harvard, and also from Cambridge in the UK. And so working with these, you see, we have developed a Huntington's transgenic sheep, and we're now studying it and trying the first therapy towards the end of this year to see if we can turn off that Huntington's gene in stopping this terrible disease. This dream, which we were told by the top scientists in the world when we put forward the idea and told it was impossible, this dream was funded by the Freemasons of New Zealand and now funded internationally from the United States once we got the project up and running. Thank you to the Freemasons. Furthermore, these research studies have enabled us to make quite unexpected new findings on stem cells in the human brain. One of the most exciting findings from animal studies over the last 50 years is the discovery that stem cells are still present in the adult rat, cat and monkey brains. And you see that these stem cells in these adult animals multiply to make new brain cells throughout the entire life of the animal. That's called neurogenesis. Furthermore, in the animal brain, these new brain cells travel down a special motorway. It's called the rostral migratory stream. It extends through the Faull brain from Auckland to Wellington, and it provides vital new replacement cells for the adult animal brain. However, as a medical student, I was told that the adult human brain didn't have stem cells. It was far too complex to make new brain cells like the animal brain. The dogma was that once you have reached maturity in your 20s, you had all the brain cells for life. That was it. And all you could look forward to was losing brain cells as you got older. However, our studies on the human brain over the last 10 years have told us something quite different and very exciting. In 2003, we showed that against all dogma, the adult human brain did in fact contain stem cells, and that these magic cells could make new brain cells in an attempt to replace those lost in diseases like Huntington's disease. That was unexpected. That was fantastic. That opened a new window. Then we asked the critical question, do we have a motorway for new brain cells just like the rat? The overseas experts all said no, because they could never find it. In fact, they published papers stating in the title that there is no pathway for neurogenesis in the human brain. It goes directly from Auckland to Wellington, as it does in the rat. Instead, it travelled via Taranaki, around Mount Taranaki, that is around the basal ganglia. And we submitted these exciting findings to the top English science journal, Nature. They were questioned and rejected out of hand by the expert referees, who clearly were non-believers because they had not found it. It's the politics and science. Being Kiwis, we didn't give up. We persisted. We gathered more data, did more staining, more cell counts, added more proof, and then submitted it to the other top rival US journal, Science. The referees this time, in our mind, were open-minded. And it was not only accepted, but we also got top billing on the front cover. And that was incredible. These findings showing that the adult human brain can make new brain cells throughout life, and that the human brain has a motorway for new brain cells are groundbreaking. The textbooks now have to be rewritten. It gives us a completely new approach to type brain disease. That's fantastic. To dream big dreams we never imagined. Like, does the motorway have off-ramps to channel stem cells to damage parts of the brain and stroke, Parkinson's, epilepsy, and so on? Furthermore, since we had shown that the human brain has stem cells and a pathway to neurogenesis, just like the rat brain, you see, you can now extrapolate the findings from animal studies to the human. And in this respect, it is very interesting that if you put rats into a stimulating and enhanced environment and give them exercise, and give them lots of things to do and think about, like rat mazes, rat jungle gyms, running wheels, etc., they make lots more brain cells, 40% more brain cells. So relating these animal findings to the human, it is tempting to speculate that just like rats, stimulation, intellectual excitement and exercise may produce more new brain cells for us. Also, our very latest research in our centre has shown that you can take skin cells from a live person and in fact turn them back into stem cells, which could then theoretically be placed in the person's brain to cure their brain disease. That is still a long way off. But now we can dream the impossible dreams to help people with brain disease. And that's the challenge of the human brain. We couldn't have achieved any of this research without the generosity of families. and without the support of our research collaborators in the university and the doctors in the hospitals. So you see, the pathway to success in research is to develop team research. Collaborate with other scientists. That's called multidisciplinary research. Work with doctors in the hospitals, and above all, maintain close links with the community. If we're going to win the Rugby World Cup and the America's Cup for brain research and develop new treatments, we need to form a brain research club. The All Blacks for brain research, a Team New Zealand for brain research, to bring all these partners together. And that's exactly what we have done at Auckland University. We have established the Centre for Brain Research. It consists of 3 pillars: research at the University of Auckland, doctors in the hospitals, and the community, patients and families. The researchers consist of 55 different researchers. When we started the centre off 4 years ago, there were about 25 groups we identified as doing brain research. But then they started coming out of their cupboards and they all wanted to join this club, you see. So we have 55 different groups across the university who are studying brain disease. Some of our top brain researchers are here tonight, John Montgomery and others. They consist of pharmacologists, physiologists, anatomists, geneticists, psychologists, biochemists, audiologists, clinical scientists, many others. In all, there are 300 people in this club involved in brain research at the university. What a diverse club of experts. The second pillar, clinicians and doctors in the hospital are vital. They comprise over 20 neurologists, neurosurgeons, psychiatrists, geriatricians in the Auckland hospitals. They look after patients on a daily basis. They're involved in drug trials. They use new treatments for brain disease, like deep brain stimulation for Parkinson's. They are developing new methods for rehabilitation, like transcranial magnetic stimulation for stroke recovery. They know the vital ingredients of brain disease. They have great ideas for new treatments. We can trial and undertake research with them, you see, on these new treatments in the lab. It seems so obvious, but you've actually got to travel the path to form these clubs. Finally, the community partners are central to our efforts. They form the third pillar. Families of patients with brain disease, they are the people we want to help. Community organisations, many of them here tonight, that support the families, need to know all about our research success. Organisations such as Alzheimer's, stroke, Huntington's, Parkinson's, epilepsy, motor neurone disease, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy and others. They link with the people and the families affected by brain disease. They are our effector arm. We exist to give them a brighter future. So you see, we have a virtual army across the University of Auckland, the Auckland hospitals and the community. The membership is unique. They are committed to a common purpose, but our army is not yet complete. We still do not have the big guns we need to fight brain disease. Our next critical dream is to get a professor of brain surgery. We currently have 6 full-time, world-class neurosurgeons at Auckland City and Starship hospitals. They're all fully engaged 24/7, doing over 1,500 life-saving brain surgery operations per year. They just don't have time for research. We desperately need a university professor of neurosurgery who's half-time surgery, half-time research, who is one foot in the hospital and the other in the university. They need to be, he needs, or she needs to be supported by an expert research team so we can maximise brain surgery research for tumours, for stroke, for Parkinson's and other diseases. This comes at a small cost of $8 million. And we are launching that campaign next Tuesday, so you just watch the stuff. Furthermore, we are currently working with the leading brain scientists and clinicians in other regions of New Zealand. You see, every 6 years the government offers what we call Centres of Research Excellence funding, what we call calls. And they've just announced the new set and calling for applications for the next 6 years. So what we're doing, we're joining hands with brain scientists and clinicians in other regions of New Zealand. The Brain Health Research Centre at the University of Otago, at Canterbury University, and at AUT University, to extend this exciting network over the whole of New Zealand. Imagine tomorrow's world if we can get our researchers across New Zealand working more closely together with brain surgeons and neurologists and with patients and families. We could make a difference for people with brain disease throughout the nation. We could develop new therapies, new drugs, new packages of care tailored to patients' specific needs. So in conclusion, our mission, if you haven't already got it, is to work together to improve lives, to identify and develop new treatments for brain disease. Our lofty and ambitious goals are to unlock the secrets of the brain, develop new therapies for brain disease, engage with communities and people affected by brain disease. One of our imaginative new treatment packages in the Centre for Brain Research is the establishment of a therapeutic choir, which you had the privilege to hear at the beginning of this evening. This celebration choir helps people who have speech problems because of stroke, Parkinson's, and other diseases. See, what's very interesting is that speech is controlled by the left side of your brain and music by the right side. So people who have problems speaking can still sing. And singing can help them to recover speech. So this marvellous choir, thank you all for coming, promotes brain recovery by helping people who have problems speaking. They are singing their way back to brain health. Isn't that magic? So you see, this is your incredible brain. It has changed over the last 45 minutes or so. Maybe you've been stimulated and made new brain cells. Use it to its maximum to fulfill your dreams and passion in life and to expand your mind. Science is about people. Hei tangata, hei tangata, hei tangata. Science is about dreaming. We want to make a difference, to give hope to the future for people with brain disease in New Zealand. That's our passion. So imagine tomorrow's world. That's the challenge, and that's the excitement of the human brain. Thank you very much.